Hello fans, it's me, Spaghetti8113, or Spaghetti if you prefer. The 8113 is silent depending on the language in which you speak. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a long time. Nothing's been going on. I haven't been busy. None of the YouTuber, standard things for why I haven't uploaded. I've just been lazy and haven't felt like uploading. But today I'm gonna make a different kind of video. I'm gonna talk about why my favorite Zeppeli is Gyro. This is, of course, in reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, in case you're not a weeb, in which good for you for being a normal person. Usually I make video game videos or videos about that, but I thought, hey, why not? I'm going to be making this video into 3 segments, each explaining one of the main reasons that I think Gyro is the best Zeppeli. First, I'll be talking about Gyro's character. And one thing that makes Gyro stand out as a character is that he's kind of mean for his Zeppeli, right? Like, Caesar was mean, but he was mostly just mean to, Joseph because he didn't know him. But Gyro is kind of like a peepee head to, a lot of people. Like, when he first meets Hot Pants, he tells her to fall off their horse and stuff. He does a lot of sort of stuff like that, but one thing that's unique about him is that while he seems mean at first, you can tell by his relationship with Johnny that if he actually cares about someone, he'll be nice to them. And he doesn't seem good at first, but once you get to know him, he's a good person. That's also something that's in common with Johnny. That's something that a lot of characters in Part 7 have, and it's something I like about a lot of characters in Part 7. You could say Hot Pants has that too, to an extent. Also, Gyro, he also is very funny. Whether or not he's funny depends on your sense of humor, but he is someone who tries to be humorous. He tells jokes a lot. He's with his friend Johnny. He seems serious on the outside, he acts all cool and with his grills and all. But when you actually get to know him, like Johnny does or like the reader does, you can see that inside he's really a nice guy. Another cool thing about Gyro is that for the Zeppelis, I personally think he probably has some of the coolest powers. Like, Hamon is cool and all, but it never really seemed that special. It was kind of just like 80s manga, oh, I use energy stuff to punch hard. But meanwhile, the spin and how he used that in his steel balls and the explanation for that of not really just being spinning but being about the golden rectangle and the golden ratio, that was really cool. And then of course Ball Breaker was also really cool, even though that was only in there for one scene, and it's debated whether or not that's a stand or if that's the spin stand or if that's the stand of the steel balls. I personally think it's the spin stand, but some people would say that that's Tusk. Either way, his powers are still really cool. My next point about Gyro for being my favorite Zeppeli is that I feel like he takes the best elements from both of the previous Zeppelis. Like William, I think William A. Zeppeli, something like that. The one that everyone just calls Zeppeli. He was kind of like the mentor person. I feel like he didn't really have a huge personality besides being weird and being a mentor. And that was one of the things that I feel like a lot of people didn't like about him. He doesn't really seem to have a whole lot different from him than Jonathan or Speedwagon. That's probably my biggest problem with Part 1. All the characters seem kind of similar. And honestly, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Well, I'm not going to get a lot of hate. I have 60 subscribers. But I'll probably get one comment disagreeing, which for me is a lot of hate. About how I think a lot of the Part 1 characters are too similar to each other. I feel like there's not really a lot to differentiate them. But yeah, so basically Part 1 Zeppeli is a mentor. Then Part 2 Zeppeli, Caesar, what his job basically is to be the friend and the person that goes on the journey with Joseph and the person that helps him. He's not as much the mentor, that job is given to Lisa. He's more like the friend. So we have the mentor and then the friend. Meanwhile, Gyro, I think he fulfills the role of both while being more. So he's the mentor to Johnny, teaching him how to do the spin, and also teaching him other sort of stuff, about how to use his spin on his horse to access Tusk Act 4. And he's also a friend with Johnny, singing his song about pizza mozzarella and making the jokes about days of the week that I'm guessing would make more sense if I knew Japanese. I'm guessing that's a pun in their language or something. But for me, it's kind of just a guy making faces and talking about the days of the week. But yeah, so he takes the friend and the mentor roles, and then he's also a lot more with the character that I described earlier and the other stuff that I'm going to be describing now. My last reason for why Gyro is my favorite Zeppeli, I just put this as other because it's a few different things. They're not as big as the last things, but first off, his design. I think his design is really cool. William A. Zeppeli, I think his design was okay, but just kind of boring. He had a cool hat. Besides that, I can't even really remember. I think he wore a white suit. but like it wasn't like a there was something about it that wasn't a normal suit, but I forget what. Then Caesar, he had like his cool headband and all, and wore I think a blue jacket or a blue shirt or something. That was pretty cool. But like yeah, again, it didn't really seem like that special. Meanwhile, Gyro, he has the best headgear with the little like like the little slashes through it, and then the sunglasses. That was really cool. And then also his shirt looked sick with the little dots, and his pants, and then his little like things that he held the steel balls in. That was really cool. Also his relationship with Johnny, I thought that was really cool. And his whole motives for joining the horse race. Like you'd think when you first see him, oh, it's probably just because he's prideful or something. Sorry, I was looking at birds. But then you learn that it was because he wanted to like save that kid. That was really cool. Overall, there's just a lot of things that I think are really cool about Gyro that just are like so much better than Caesar Zeppeli, and like especially William Zeppeli. I feel like both those characters, like while they're cool, they're like nothing like super special. We just have the mentor, and then the like bully who becomes the friend and helps with the journey. And I feel like that's just what they both are. Meanwhile, Gyro, he doesn't really have the blank to say about him. He's just such a like cool and unique character. Thanks for watching.